Good morning, financial literacy students. Just wanted to say, hope you had a great Thanksgiving break, and welcome back. The first thing that I wanted to go over with is I'm making a video to help with this presentation about goal setting because it's a little more difficult than a lot of other PowerPoints that you can just go over by yourself. And so I wanted to go over just a few things to make sure that you fully understand how to set goals, and specifically financial goals. So the first thing that you'll do is you'll just kind of brainstorm these questions right here. The biggest thing that I want you guys to know is that setting financial goals helps us accomplish three important priorities. The first priority that it helps us to accomplish in our life is our spending priorities. The third is our saving priorities, and the second is our saving priorities, sorry, and the third is our earning priorities. It's what I mean by this is as we set goals in life, and especially financial goals, is it helps us to establish these priorities in our life. Helps us decide what are we really going to spend our money on, instead of spending our money not necessarily frivolously, but spending it without thought. Is goals help us spend and to make priorities on how we're going to spend it. It also helps us to create saving priorities in the sense that I want to retire when I'm 65 and I want to still have this type of lifestyle, meaning I want to travel. I want to be able to see the world. And so it helps me set those priorities and actually start putting money aside for those. And then the third thing is it helps us with our earning priorities, meaning if I want this type of lifestyle, meaning I want this type of home, I want to drive these types of vehicles, and all, then I need to make X amount of money. And so it helps us to establish those as well. And so this is really important to know, is that goal setting helps us to establish these priorities. All right. So in goals, these are the elements of the goals. They're called SMART goals. So they're specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. And we're going to go over each of these in really specific terms here in just a minute. All right, so really pay attention to this. We're going to help this person, Lacey, create financial SMART goals. And this really helps us to really see how to write a SMART goal. Because you're going to have an assignment on this. And if you don't have each of these aspects of a SMART goal, meaning they're not specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound, you're going to lose lots of points. And so make sure that you pay attention to this so that you know how to fully write a SMART goal. All right, so specific means that a goal is clearly defined end result, meaning at the end of this goal, you will have accomplished this. Okay? In financial goals, you will state exactly what plan you have for the money involved. Okay? Meaning if I want to buy a car, okay, I want to save money for a car. It's specific. Okay? Not that I just want to save money. And so here's Lacey's debt. Here's Lacey's example. So her current goal is I will reduce my debt. It's not very specific. We know that she wants to reduce her debt, but she could have car debt, she could have house debt, she could have credit card debt, and lots of other different types of debt. So what type of debt will she want to reduce? We want to know exactly where her money will go. Okay? So one way to make this a little more specific is Lacey could say, I will reduce the amount I owe on my car loan. Okay? Now we know exactly where the money is going to go. It's going to go to her car loan, not her credit card debt, not her house debt, but to her car loan. So now we've made our goal specific, but there's other aspects of it, okay? So next thing that we're going to talk about is how to make it measurable, okay? So measurable is you determine exactly when you will know that the goal has been met. And what I mean by this is in financial terms, you have to state the exact dollar amount. Meaning that if I want to save for a drone, okay, I need to know how much a drone is going to cost. And so the drone I want to buy is going to cost $1,250. So I need to save $1,250. So right now, Lacey's goal is specific. Okay, she wants to reduce the amount that she owes on her car loan, but we need to make it measurable. And so to make it measurable, we need to know exactly how much money is going to go into that debt. Okay, so one way to do that is I will reduce the amount I owe on my car loan, specific, by $1,000. So now it's measurable. We have an exact dollar amount. Okay, so that's measurable. So that's two aspects of the SMART goal. A lot of people like to stop right here. Okay, but they're missing out on a lot of other aspects of it. So the other next aspect is attainable. To make a goal attainable, you must create a step-by-step plan outlining how you're going to get to that goal, okay, and how you're going to reach it. In financial terms, this is often determined by a spending plan or a budget item. So actually putting this into your current budget and explaining how you're going to do that. So currently, Lacey's goal is specific and it's measurable, meaning she will reduce the amount she owes on her car loan by $1,000. To make it attainable, she has to put in that budget item. So one way to do this is that Lacey has an extra $100 to spend every single month. So she says, I will reduce the amount I owe on my car loan, okay, specific, by $1,000, measurable, by paying an extra $100 per month. Okay, so now she has created the attainable part. She's created a budget plan or a spending plan or a budget item. So every single month, she's going to pay $100 per month to her car loan, an extra $100 a month. Okay, her car loan debt could be $150 a month. Now she's going to be paying $250 a month. Okay, that extra $100. So now it's specific. Okay, it's measurable, and it's attainable. Okay, now we need to make it realistic, and then the last thing is time bound. Okay, all right. So realistic. How do we determine if a goal is unrealistic? So before you can actually see if it's realistic, we have to look at it and say, is it unrealistic? And the way to do that is to examine the consequences of that goal. So the first thing that you have to do when you're making financial goals is after you've made it specific, okay, measurable and attainable, is that we have to consider the trade-offs and opportunity costs. You learned this, or you should have learned this, in the past presentations that you did in this class, or PowerPoints that I gave you. So what I mean by this is trade-offs. So if Lacey, okay, is going to take that $100 every single month and put it towards her car loan, okay, what could she have used that $100 for? Okay, that's the trade-offs. So what are you giving up, okay, to spend that extra money on this financial goal? Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative that you will give up as a result of your plan. So the trade-offs is a list of multiple things. So Lacey could, with that $100, she could spend on clothes. Okay, she could put that money towards college education. She could put that money towards going on a trip to Hawaii. Okay, so trade-offs are, sorry about that, let me turn on the light again, are those things. So she's made a list of trade-offs. Now the opportunity cost is the next best alternative. So we have those 4 different trade-offs that Lacey came up with. Okay, paying more money towards college, going to Hawaii, buying clothes, or something else. Okay, so now she's got to determine, if I wasn't going to spend this $100, really what else would I have done it? Okay, so our next best option is to save the $100 for college. Okay, this is a trade-off. Which decision should Lacey make? Determine what the value of the opportunity cost is. Okay, paying off her car loan is more important to Lacey than any other use of her money. Okay, when people do this, a lot of times their goals change. Okay, all right, so Lacey's current goal is, I will reduce the amount I owe on my car loan, okay, specific, by $1,000. It's measurable. Okay, by paying an extra $100 per month. Okay, it's attainable. So now to make it realistic. So now she says those things instead of saving $100 for college. She's made it realistic. She's told us what her opportunity cost is. The opportunity cost here is instead of putting that money towards college, she is now putting it towards her car loan. Okay, so now it's realistic. So now we have to make it time-bound. Okay, time-bound is specifically stating when the goal will be reached. In financial terms, in terms of this, you have to consider, is it a short-term goal, is it a long-term goal? And we'll go over the specifics here. Short-term goals are within less than a year, sorry. And long-term goals are attained in more than 1 year. So if it takes you 12 months and 1 day, it's a long-term goal. Okay, if it takes you 12 months, okay, then it is a short-term goal. I don't make the rules, just what it is. Financial goals, make sure to consider your long-term financial needs when setting financial goals. So this is really, really important, okay? What other long-term goals do you have? And when you're making long-term goals, you may need to make some short-term goals as well. So Lacey will reduce the amount she owes on her car loan by $1,000 by paying an extra $100 per month instead of saving for college, okay? And she will do this in 10 months. This is just a simple mathematical equation, okay? If she saved $100 per month, how many months will it take to get $1,000, okay? 100 goes into 1,000 10 times, so it'll take 10 months. Now you can see that her goal is fully complete, okay? It has every aspect of a SMART goal. This is how I need you guys to create your SMART goals. All right. What I want you guys to do for the rest of this presentation is I want you to go over it yourself. I kind of want you to see different things. In the end, there is show me the goal. And I really want you guys to pay attention to this. Is I give a goal up here at the top, right here. And what I want you to do is I want you to read that goal. And I want you to tell me what is missing. So on this one, I plan to save $1,500 to buy a used car. And I will do this by canceling my home cable services and saving that $75 each month instead. Okay? So it's specific because they want to buy a used car, right? Okay? And it's specific, measurable because we know how much the car costs. Okay? Is it attainable? Meaning, does it have a monthly budget item? Yeah, $75 a month. Okay? Is it realistic? Do we know the opportunity cost? Yeah, we know the opportunity cost. Instead of putting the money towards cable services, he's going to put it towards the used car. So we know the opportunity cost. So now, the last part is it time-bound? Do we know how long this is going to take? Does he say in here how long it's going to take? And no, he does not. So what is missing is time-bound. Okay? So that's what I want you guys to do with each of these goals, is look at it, find out what's missing, and all. So you're going to go through those. The next thing that you'll do is you're going to look at this and help Paul make a goal, specific things. Just some things to kind of help you practice setting SMART goals. Okay? So I want you to just go through that. At the end, here's what I kind of want you to pay attention to. Remember, anything in red is super, super important. So what is a goal? Short-term and long-term goals. Why both? Setting short-term goals helps to achieve long-term goals. This is really, really important, guys, to understand and to remember, is that when you are setting goals, especially long-term goals, you need to set short-term goals to help you accomplish them. Okay? And then always remember, goals helps us to establish spending priorities, earning priorities, and saving priorities. Okay? Alrighty. After this, you'll have an assignment where you will actually create your own SMART goals and create a presentation for that. If you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to reach out to me through email and all. Thank you so much and have a great day.